Welcome to this screencast. In this screencast I quickly want to show you the functionality of the multiple choice questions. The multiple choice questions are used in the pre-lab, and I quickly want to start my screencast with some information about how the exercises are structured. So we have three parts of the exercise. The first part is the lecture. The lecture is meant to give a broad overview about the topic. Then the second part afterwards is the pre-lab. In the pre-lab the students are supposed to read theoretical articles we prepared, and the third part is the lab. So this part is very important because it's the concrete preparation for the practical part. And if you don't know what you can see and what you can do, then you cannot master the practical part. So this is also the reason why it's done alone, because everyone needs a little different time to prepare, and so the pre-lab is done individually, and then the prepared team partners can work together in the lab. So when I created the functionality for the pre-lab, I had in mind that working here as a team is fine, but if one of the participants is not prepared, it's not really fun, because then the one cannot profit from the lab and also the other one has to explain it, and they cannot really work together. And so I thought, okay, how can I support the students in the pre-lab so that they can focus on the important topics and they have some sort of motivation for preparing for the practical exercise. So the lecture is in the lecture room, and afterwards people start using the lab system here, doing the pre-lab and the lab, and in between there's a barrier. So students will have to answer multiple choice questions here, and only if they answered them correctly, or they had 3 answer attempts and did not succeed, and only if both participants have done that, then they can access the lab. So let's see how this looks in practice. So I'll go to the system here. I've already logged in. If you are an editor, you can remove the additional rights here you have, and then you have the student view. And what I'll do now is I'll go to the demonstration lab, and this, as you can see here, we just see the pre-lab at the moment. So the lab is not open because our teammates did not finish, so we can look at the lab status, and here we see, okay, my teammates did not finish, no one finished. And okay, so I go back, and then I start browsing through the pre-lab. And so here I have some introductions, and here you see multiple choice questions. So the multiple choice questions are meant to support the students by understanding the important topics. So usually we'll have some text here, and then we'll have some questions to the text here. So students will be able to memorize then the important things and to check if they got the important points. Especially if we have links outside, or if we have longer texts, it's very helpful. So now here we have a multiple choice question, and we see different elements here. So the first thing we see is the pen here, and if we hover, it says please answer the question to get it checked. So that means this is a new question, we did not answer it. So this one, the same. So to answer, we just click here, and so in this case I already gave the correct answer, but I will not make it correct here. Important thing the system does with the multiple choice question is that it's automatically shuffling the answers. So when a teammate will open this, he will see the same answers but in a different order, and that's also very helpful not to exchange result vectors like, okay, question 1 and 3 are correct, but to say like, okay, the answer is wrong and this answer is correct. And if the students do that, it's okay, because then they have to exchange about content and not about just meta information like question 1 or answer 1 and 3 are correct. Okay, so now we can save, and as you can see the pen is gone, so this question is answered now. And okay, so we don't answer this at the moment, so we go further, and so here we see, okay, some further information. So these are free text inputs where we can put some information, but they are not automatically corrected as the multiple choice questions are, so we'll see that in a second. Okay, so here it says now, okay, go to the all questions page, And as you see here, here's an exclamation mark. That means the questions are not all answered yet. Okay, so we go here, and here we see again, okay, this is already answered, this is not answered already, and now we can click on the checkup button, and the system will check then, okay, if the answer is correct or not. We also get the information that we have 3 possible checks, so we can make it wrong 3 times, and then we'll get the answer, and so we'll try that out now. So I'll check it up, and as you see immediately, okay, we get the feedback, okay, this was wrong, we have another try, so we see it here. Now let's leave the answer empty, so we think, okay, nothing is correct. As you will see again, the pen will go away. Okay, so we check up again. Okay, so empty answer was also not correct. And now let's make it wrong again. So this time will be our 3rd attempt, so now as we see, we get the answer, we had it 3 times wrong, we cannot answer this anymore. So this question is solved now, and okay, the other questions are not. So and now we can go for other questions, and well, let's make it just right this time. So I guess it was summer 2005, so let's check that. And okay, we see it was correct. As you've seen, the exclamation mark is gone, and also the lab is open now. So the reason is that in this case I was just a single team here, so it was just me, and so all my teammates finished. And here we see that I did half correct of the possible credits, so with each answering attempt I get less credits, so I made this totally wrong and this totally right, so I have 50% of the credits. If I would have made it right here, then I would have had more credits respectively. Okay, now I can go for the lab, and here again you see the exclamation mark, and it shows that not all the questions of that the lab is not closed yet. So if we would close it by saying like, okay, we don't want to answer anymore, then the exclamation mark would also vanish. And yeah, so now you've seen how the multiple choice questions work and how they get checked, and they really help supporting the learning effect of the students. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the multiple choice questions and use them in a good way, and enjoy the system.